Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pash On Podcast. Let's get started with your host, Brian Pash.
Hi, this is Brian Pash, and welcome to another exciting podcast interview. I got my friend Aaron Bickart. He's the EVP General Manager of OfferLogix, and we have two really breaking announcements that we wanted to share with you prior to DMSC. And we're going to talk about solutions that offer alternatives to dealers and solutions to CDP companies and dealer groups, large dealer groups, who are trying to manage their first-party data. Aaron, welcome to the show.
Hey, Brian, thanks for having me. It's always great to be on your podcast, and we're looking forward to the DMSC in Scottsdale, Arizona this year. So, and you know, I used to live there for 15 years. So I'm going back home where I actually want to move to again. So,
right. Well, it is a beautiful place. And after 3 days of conference, we're going to have an afternoon of golf for some dealers and pickleball tournament. So we're going to have a lot of fun. So I'm glad you're coming out with your family.
Perfect. Thank you.
Aaron, I want to talk about two things. The first one impacts every dealer. And this is the ability to win customers online before they defect or go somewhere else. And with affordability being so important to consumers today, even with threats of tariffs, considering even price increases in vehicles, affordability is important. And I want to differentiate between pre-qual and pre-approved first. And then when I talk about your solution that you're providing the vendor community that gives dealers a competitive alternative to the Cap 1 button, which is on so many dealers' websites. So let's start really at foundational. When you talk to dealers, the difference of pre-qual and pre-approved, what's the difference that you try to be very clear with general managers, marketing managers, and tech companies trying to build solutions?
Well, yeah. Well, first of all, Brian, pre-qual and pre-approve are almost the same thing. In a lot of people's mind, it's almost the same thing. But most people get confused. What is pre-qual? What is pre-screen? And what is pre-approve? But let me just walk you through a couple things.
Thank you.
One thing real quick is, if you think about this, we've all bought houses in our past, right? We all went out there and we all bought a house, and we all want to talk to either a lender like a Wells Fargo, Bank of America, or Ameris Bank. We go to a lender or we go to a mortgage broker. But the first thing they ask you, Brian, is all the time, what do they ask you? They ask you for your social security number, and they ask you how much money are you making. So what are they doing? They're getting you pre-approved, right? They want to know what you can afford and if you can afford it. So this is exactly what we're talking about here. So pre-qual is great. You know, you fill out a 5-liner information, you do all that great information. It comes out. It doesn't hurt the customer's credit score at all. There's no inquiry. It's a wonderful solution, and it's basically the number 1 or number 2 lead provider for every dealership that I've ever seen. We'll just say 98% of every dealership. Right. I'm not going to say 100%, just because there's always a 2% or 3% that's not going to be there. But now with pre-approval, if you think about pre-approval, why not take it to the next level, right? Where you actually take the VIN number of that particular unit, take all the published rates that are sitting out there from all the captives. So let's just say you're a Ford dealership. You have Ford Financial. You might use Ally Loan. You might use Bank of America. You might use US Bank, or whoever lenders that you're doing. Why not have all the lenders that typical dealership uses? Take that VIN number, take the selling price of that particular vehicle, take 10% down, whatever it is, figure out a credit score that is very, let's say, compliant for your dealership, or like, you know, that you can live with, and say, hey, take that information, and now we can pre-approve you on that particular VIN or that particular vehicle in real time using that loan. So in milliseconds, you can figure out exactly what the lease payment is, the finance payment, or the APRs of what that customer is approved on, versus just pre-qual. It's just a credit score at the end of the day. So really, at the end of the day, we stole the idea, and I'm going to walk you right through it. You know, and it's your favorite company in the whole wide world. You know, listen, everybody, this is your favorite company because you said it multiple times on stages. I've heard you for the last 3-4 years. You know, at Cap 1, this was the catalyst One thing about Cap One, they siphon all the information off the dealership's website, and then they send you letters in the mail. They send you credit card information in the mail. So reality, and they don't ever mention the dealership's name. So this is a replacement of Cap One's information onto a dealership's website using your lenders, not just Cap One lenders. But reality is, just thinking of it as a pre-approval in the mortgage industry has now come to the auto industry, now on your
Wow.
website.
And I think one of the other things that dealers should understand is when your tools are implemented, because you're selling to website companies, digital retailing companies, that will all be compliant with the Automotive Standards Council. So dealers are going to be able to see every step the consumer makes. They'll see that data in GA4. They're going to see that data in their CRM. So there's full transparency available, and the leads that convert through this pre-approval process are owned 100% by the dealer.
Yeah, not only, yeah, so exactly. So everything is 100% compliant. You're going to be able to see all the analytics for the G4. You're actually going to be able to see the emails come through. It's completely compliant with Equifax. And then the last thing is, through your CRM, you're going to actually be able to keep track of the attribution of every one of those sales. So at the end of the day, you're not only keeping track of the analytics, it's fully compliant, but you also have the attributions of those leads coming in. So you actually know exactly how much gross you're making on every particular unit that you sell through the pre-approval process.
And you know what? Some people listening to the podcast may miss that little detail. There are payment tools on dealer websites, pre-approval tools on dealer websites that don't take into account the marketing channel, right? So if it was a Google ad or a Meta ad or an email marketing or a TikTok, whatever, when that referral traffic comes into the dealer's website, if those iframe tools or the tools built into the core website are not capturing that source and medium and campaign name, the dealers don't know where that conversion comes from. And I think this is one of the last areas of black holes on dealer websites. I understand the value of putting a pre-qual tool
Yes.
on a website and a pre-approval tool on a website, but none of it makes sense to me if they're not fully transparent to the marketing efforts, the traffic journey that generates the lead.
Well, yeah. I always say, it's like Connect Four, right? If the dots are not connected, right, all the way across from the beginning to the end, right, you're not gonna. It's a loser. At the
Right.
end of the day, why would anyone in their right mind put anything on a website that doesn't connect which medium it came from or multiple mediums it came from with an attribution at the end of the day? Because at the end of the day, you remember the old saying, Brian, if I had $100,000 to spend on an advertising budget, I wonder which 50,000 is working, which 50,000 isn't, right?
Right.
But now with all the connectivities that we have through G4 and the attributions and all the CDP information that we know exactly what's happening in the marketplace, and we know where that particular consumers come. And now all the dots are being connected all the way through the process at the end of the day.
You mentioned CDPs, and that's the second thing I wanted to talk about. Um, Man, there's a lot of acronyms. When we talk to customers about managing their first party data, we have CDP, Customer Data Platform, CXP, Customer Experience Platform. We have CEP, Customer Engagement Platform, and it is getting, let me see, Dealer Management Platform, whatever.
Yeah,
So
DNS.
but the truth is, whether the acronym fits or not, dealers are more and more interested in managing and activating their first party data. And what they need to understand is that a CDP isn't aware of the automotive industry. It doesn't know rates and residuals, offers, discounts at a VIN level, EV rebates, incentives, state taxes, whatever. And so, how do dealers and their CDP partners get this real-time data for shoppers that they can offer in an email or a social media ad or dynamic offers on the websites. And that's where you're really coming out to the marketplace with an offer management platform. For our listeners, especially those who understand the CDP in itself, its only job is to unify customer data and keep track of every interaction that they're doing, every email they open, every phone call, every text message they respond to, what pages they were shopping. They know nothing about banking, finance, rebates, incentives. What's your vision for the offer management platform?
Okay, well, first of all, that's a lot. There's a big vision there, massive vision. It's probably too big that we might have to be at this call for another 2, 3 hours for that for that vision to happen. But I'm going to try to bring it down to simplistic levels here, because what happened is everyone knows who comes to your meetings that OfferLogix works with Lithia, and this
Right.
all basically came out, and they have a CDP they work with internally at Lithia. And it's a great CDP. I'm not going to mention the name of the company that they work with, but
Right.
we work with them a lot. And one of the big things is that, as we've spoken to you and a lot of other great industry experts in the field, is the syndication of payments across all the different mediums, right? And what
One
OfferLogix,
source.
one source. So what OfferLogix is famous for, and what we're great at, is our penny perfect payments. But the other piece of the puzzle is now syndicating those payments off. So if you called a dealer today, Brian, and said, "Hey, you're advertising that? Let's just say Ford Explorer for $399 a month with $29.95 down." I guarantee you, if I went to their website, it would not have a Ford Explorer there for $399 with $29.95. I guarantee you the email does not say, $399, $29.95. I bet you the OTT ad doesn't say it either. Whatever it is, it's very inconsistent. So one of the things that we worked with, say that again?
Yeah, I agree. Because it's typically multiple vendors
Yeah.
making assumptions or putting some base offer from some matrix with no consistency.
Exactly. Or they're just making it up out there on the fly, and they're trying to figure out. So one of the things that we worked with Lithia and all their preferred partners was syndicating the data out to all the preferred partners. So we at OfferLogix came out with a offer management platform. Now I know you love CDPs, and I know we got CXPs and everything. So we decided to have our own acronym. We call it the OMP, right? Offer management platform. Oh, everyone laughs at me when I say this, OMP at the end of the day. But reality is we're the only ones in the marketplace that not only have a pre-approval solution, but we also have an OMP, offer management platform, that can tie into any CDP or CXP and be able to syndicate that out to all your vendors. I mean, you think about what just went on in the marketplace. I mean, you had the Lindsay Automotive Group in DC here, where I live, just got taken down by the FTC. You also had the other group out of Chicago. I'm having a blank right now, but I think it was called the Leader Group out of Chicago, right? They just had a $20 million fine. FTC is now looking at all these different things of how they can now get all this information. I mean, if you look at the Lindsay Automotive Group FTC ruling, they're going after the general manager, and the general manager doesn't even own part of the dealership. I mean, they're going after him, suing him because the payments are not correct. So we can bolt on all the inventory for that particular organization, that group, that dealership, and be able to provide you with an OMP, offer managers, rebates, incentives, payment calculations, quoting engine, lease and finance payment, and we're able to syndicate that information out to keep you, which every dealership wants to make sure they're completely compliant within the marketplace today. So that way it gives you and everyone always says the Amazon experience, but I'm just going to say it gives you the complete personalized experience now, right? Versus the Amazon experience, because I think Amazon, we all use that too much now. So now I'm just going to say personalized experience across all the mediums of advertising, all the way into in-store. So out of the store and in-store, gives you the complete experience across the platform. So we call it the OMP, and we're the only ones that offer it through the platform. And we're completely syndicating now through every Lithia preferred partner. And there's probably a good 20 of them now that are preferred, and all their dealerships are completely consistent with all their payments and completely compliant through their legal department. We would love to figure out how to get that throughout all the other big dealer groups throughout the United States, because that's who they're going after. They're
Right.
not trying to go after the mom and pop stores.
Well, listen, at the Digital Marketing Strategies Conference, we're bringing new solutions, breakthroughs in connecting marketing message with consumers, whether it's through identity resolution, CDPs, OMPs now. One of the core thing is how do you generate at scale OEM compliant, legally compliant, consistent marketing offers? And this is where the OMP comes in. Also, dealers are looking to increase lead conversion. And what you're saying is, look, we have the tools, but are they fully compliant with your business rules? Like, do you know where the data is going? Do you know what the data is used for? Do you have full clarity of conversions and analytics? Are you able to associate marketing traffic and investments to conversions? And and that's one of the topics we have at DMSC, which is optimizing conversion and website experience.
Right.
This is where dealers have to start thinking differently and take ownership of their website and their marketing to keep them out of legal troubles, but also to increase conversion, visibility, marketing optimization. And obviously, for the larger dealer groups, with CDPs, or even the smaller groups with CDPs, the OMP makes sense. And since dealers feel that they only have one choice with Cap One, to get pre-qual at scale, you're offering transparent pre-qual for all of their vendors, just not one lending institution. To me, that offers a compelling reason to test it.
That's correct. But let's go back to the OMP, because if you think about the OMP, it keeps the dealer completely compliant. All the privacy issues are there. All the mediums are completely consistent. But the last thing I didn't mention was it also comes with all the disclaimers. It comes with all the Reg M and Reg Z disclaimers too, as well. Completely customizable for that particular dealership. So when they go to market and are one click away, now all the disclaimers are completely compliant. So imagine now an email goes out and it's a different disclaimer than the one on the website, and the website's completely different than the OTT. So what we're trying to say is we're going to be the industry expert of syndicating your data out to all the third-party vendors that you work with to make sure that you're completely compliant and all the privacy issues are taken care of, and you give the best personalized experience. And the last thing with the pre-approval stuff, we're also the only ones that allow you. Now, the other organizations will say they give you a full credit report. That is not true. What we're saying to you is we provide you also with a full-blown Equifax credit report through the pre-approval, and it's completely compliant versus just a summary page. I literally was just on a call with an OEM showing that to them, and we're going to be going live with this new OEM probably in the next 3.5 to 4 weeks. They signed the agreement, and that's another thing that we're going to talk about at DMSC too as well. This new partnership that we just went live with for our OEM for the pre-approval process.
Well, Aaron, I'm really excited for DMSC because we have some real breakthrough technologies. And again, the theme is how can we do more with our marketing dollars? How do we convert more, measure better? How do we create personalized experience? How do we keep ourselves out of legal trouble on all of the topics surrounding our marketing investments and strategy? And that's why I'm encouraging dealers, dealer principals, general managers, come out with your marketing manager, learn together. And of course, all the website companies will be there. All the digital retailing companies will be there. And if they don't have this solution, you can pull Aaron right over to them and say to them, look, I want this consistency for my dealer group. It makes a lot of sense. Aaron, I'm really excited about how data and data connections are happening. You have robust APIs, so you can connect into any CDP or data lake, right? I mean, there's no limitations or costs of data integration, right?
No cost, no. Just
Right.
just when you use the data, there's a cost.
Yeah,
That's it.
of course.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
I just have to make sure I say that. There's only cost when there's a data when you use the data. At the end of the day.
That's fine. That's data on demand, software as a service. That's what it is.
And we integrate, as you know, with a ton of vendors. ten of partners who are great friends. One of our great friends is one of your great friends. He's like, who don't you integrate with? That's what he always says to me on the phone.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. I said, I'm not allowed to tell you all that, but soon I might be allowed.
Yeah, love it. Well, Aaron, thanks so much. For dealers listening in, we interview automotive technology leaders, people who are changing the playbook for automotive retail. So make sure you listen to all our podcast interviews by just searching the Brian Pash podcast. Digital Marketing Strategies Conference, as Aaron opened up, is in Scottsdale this year, and it will stay in Scottsdale from here forward. It's April 27, 28, 29. So all day Sunday, all day Monday, half day Tuesday. And then after 2.5 days of learning, we're going to break up into golf or pickleball, have some fun. This is the conference where you actually take home actionable insights and learn things that can change the outcomes of your marketing investments. So this is not something to miss. Just go to digitalmarketingstrategies.org to get your tickets, book your hotel while the hotel room block is still available. It will close 30 days before the event. If you wait to the last minute, you will pay more for your hotel room. Don't miss out. And we're going to have a great time. Aaron, you mentioned to me you're bringing the whole family. Are you excited about
Very
the
excited.
DMSC event?
Very excited. It's one of my favorite events of the year. So we're very excited. And my family's actually really excited too, because it's at the Westin Kierland, which is in a great place in North Scottsdale, right off of Scottsdale Road. Great restaurants, great scenery, great weather is going to be there. So you're getting there right before the heat. I mean, it'll still probably be in the 90s during the day, but low humidity. I say, come on, come on, come on.
Come on, that's it. Well, Aaron, thanks again. Thanks everyone for listening in, and make sure you check in for future interviews from companies that are going to be at DMSC. And until then, I hope to see you in Scottsdale at the end of April. And
Yep.
well, we're going to be providing the solutions, the strategies, and the blueprints for digital marketing excellence in 2025. See you then.